Citizen Trump. Pundits have talked themselves sideways looking for a label to hang on the Donald since he entered the race last summer. Billionaire, reality show star. But one that some never imagined is Republican nominee. With a major win last week and 3 more states up this week, Trump has had success beyond all predictions, except perhaps his own. How could the experts have been so wrong? Scott Thuman reports it's the media coverage that looks more like a reality show.
We have something happening that actually makes the Republican Party probably the biggest political story anywhere in the world.
Thank you. Donald Trump is the leading Republican candidate for president. The GOP frontrunner has won nominating contests in nearly 20 states and a U.S. territory. Trump's also won more than half of the 1,237 delegates needed to clinch the GOP nomination.
I and a relatively few other people said don't underestimate Donald Trump because I knew what a tough customer he was in New York.
Howie Kurtz is a media critic and host of Fox News Media Buzz.
The media spent months and months and months missing the Donald Trump phenomenon. Never have so many been so wrong about one candidate.
It's an outcome few expected would happen some 9 months ago when Trump officially announced his bid for the White House.
I am officially running for President of the United States.
His candidacy was quickly dismissed by most of the media.
Mr. Trump is a serious candidate for the Republican nomination, is so stupendously, incredibly idiotic.
And mocked by late-night comedians.
He wears the hat so we don't get to see what his hair looked like when the blades of the helicopter spin around. Probably looks like a cotton candy machine exploding.
Good evening. It's me, Donald J. Trump. In case you're wondering, the J stands for genius.
One news site even going so far as to cover his campaign in its entertainment section.
I'm too trusting.
Over the summer, candidate Trump was consistently on the airwaves of broadcast news channels, helping draw in record viewership during the Republican primary debates.
What did that mean by all of us underestimating Donald Trump early on? What was the impact of that, you think?
It probably helped Donald Trump that the press dismissed and mocked and minimized him because he was able to run against the media.
Now the summer of stumping has turned into his winter of winning. The New York businessman turned politician has outlasted contenders that analysts once predicted had a much better shot at securing the nomination.
Donald Trump utterly changed the rules of campaigning. The way in which he conducts himself was supposed to be unacceptable for somebody running for president, except when you win most of the states, people say, well, I guess that worked.
According to Media Quant, a firm that tracks media coverage, Donald Trump has received nearly $2 billion worth of free media coverage over the course of this campaign. That's more than all the remaining 2016 presidential candidates combined. But not all of the media coverage Trump has received has been positive.
They're rapists. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Despite making several statements analysts predicted would derail his chances, Trump has consistently polled higher than any other candidate seeking the Republican nomination. Now, pundits and politicians alike are taking Trump's candidacy seriously, prompting Mitt Romney, the 2012 nominee, to deliver a speech making the argument that Trump is unfit to lead the party.
And let me put it very plainly. If we Republicans choose Donald Trump as our nominee, the prospects for a safe and prosperous future are greatly diminished.
And with House Speaker Paul Ryan voicing concern about the violence seen at Trump's campaign rallies.
This party does not prey on people's prejudices. We appeal to their highest ideals.
But the frontrunner is capitalizing on his outsider status, calling to unify the fractured Republican Party, while at the same time warning of possible riots if he's denied the nomination in a contested convention.
The Republican leaders kind of rigged this thing to get a consensus around an early frontrunner. They just never imagined that that frontrunner would be Donald Trump. And I think now, for all the talk of a contested convention, the Republicans are pretty much going to have to live with the guy who has won the most states and the most delegates.
Another sign Donald Trump is very much in the driver's seat. There was supposed to be another Republican debate Monday night in Utah. He decided he did not want to attend, and Fox News and the GOP canceled the entire event. He said he's coming here to Washington instead to speak to a pro-Israel political group. Now Ted Cruz and John Kasich following suit.
The Republican establishment, as they say, seems very concerned.
Yeah, and the level is significant. There are reports that just this week, GOP conservative leaders met and they discussed two options. One, do we coalesce behind Donald Trump? Or two, could we possibly come up with a candidate at the last minute to derail his candidacy and become the nominee? And if so, how would all of that play out?
And who would it be? Thanks so
Exactly.
much, Scott Thuman. Next on Full Measure, we continue our reporting from the southern U.S. border. Border towns so influenced by Mexican drug smugglers, the illegal culture is deeply embedded in the community.